Welcome back to City Bricks. We have a lot of changes to our lighting this week, as well as some landscaping. So let me show you what we've done. And there we have the reason why I need to make these mountains a bit more stable. Just completely crumbled. But that's okay. We've got a while to work on them. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna end up mills plating the bottom just so it's easier to pick up. And I'll let you know how that goes. Step 1, make a mills plate that's 3 base plates long for the mountain. Well, I believe we have the first part of our mountain done. I've definitely made it more stable and I got it about as tall as it can go. Of course, it goes down right where those outlets are, and so not exactly what I wanted. But I like how I got started the second peak right there, and then I'm gonna add this next to it and work on building that up. I actually mills plated the whole thing just to add a little bit more stability. I have a lot more pillars holding everything up. I've even used some things like Duplo and then a bunch of 2x-anything brick I've been picking up. So I got to mills plate this one and I'll show you what that looks like. So I've been thinking about adding the second part of the mountain and I don't have it built yet, but when I do add it, I think it'd be really cool if I had like a cave entrance coming in kind of into the side of it and then covering this part up with like rocks. And so I think I'm gonna work on trying to like leave this part open so I can eventually add a cave and put lights in it, and you'll see that entrance from this view. And then with the bottom part, I was just thinking about putting some rocks so they can kind of like climb up to the cave. And that will get placed basically leading up into the cinema. So those are the ideas I have so far. I'm gonna probably try doing the facade of the mountain first and then work on the cave, but that's where I'm at. And so we do have the facade of the mountains finally done. There's still some small things I need to work on that I couldn't quite get right if I didn't have them up next to each other. Like this little gap that's up here at the top. I wanna make that peak a little bit better, as well as reduce some of the space from the mountain to the wall. I was able to do that with this one, but the first one I did was a bit harder. It's a bit taller and not as stable as this middle one. I've also added in a cave with a fire for a rock climber. And then I did leave that space open for a cave going this way. Basically, I'll probably just build something that's like 10 studs wide and place it inside of that to make it look like a cave. And then cover up all the support systems with some rock work. I've also been focusing on covering up a lot of our table and desk, and I have this bottom one done all the way across, so you no longer see the white table. And then I'm working on covering up this one. And right now what I'm doing is a very simple build, but I'm probably gonna add some more brick behind it and then tile it off. That way it's a little more stable. And I'm gonna add that all the way across. Some additional changes this week. We have added a moving truck, which I just love the furniture it came with, as well as the minifigures, as well as the scale of the truck will fit perfectly on my roads. We've also updated the Jazz Club lighting. It's now blinking and has some lighting over the signs. I think the next changes I'm going to make are to the diner and change that colorful blinking light into maybe one like the Jazz Club, as well as the ones above the theater as well, or the Palace Cinema. I think it's just a little bit too much color for me, but I do love the blinking effect that the Jazz Club gives off. And just seeing that reflection in the street looks awesome. Some additional changes. I'm about to add some lighting to the treehouse as well as the A-frame cabin. and then probably clear off that area and show you what I'm gonna work with as it comes to the forest area. Well, I have this area lit up. I still have another A-frame cabin and lights to put on it, but I think I'll save that for next week. Looking at that area now, it kind of makes me want to elevate it or put a cave in, maybe some rock work on the back wall. I still have plenty of these rock pieces left, so I could do something like that over there. Also, when it comes to the mountain, I've placed an order on Bricklink and from the Lego store to get some more dark bluish gray slopes, just to break it up a little bit. It looks pretty repetitive right now. But it's crazy, I've already put in like 100 of these 1x1 brick pieces. I have over 100 dark bluish gray 1x2 slopes. And then I have a lot of the taller slopes as well. I'm out of all my dark bluish gray. I have a bunch of light gray, a bunch of white so I could finish up the mountain, and a bunch more light gray. But I've used all the dark bluish gray. So I have some more of those on the way. I did not expect the mountain to take up so many pieces, but I think it looks really good, and I can't wait to get that cave area done as well. I'm still thinking of what to put underneath this platform across from the cafe, as well as kind of what to do with this area. Right now I just have buildings there covering up the table, but I think I want to elevate this, probably Mills plate that section for the camp area, and add a bunch of trees. Those are the goals. Let me know if you like the changes this week, what you'd like to see happen first, or any comments or suggestions down below. Have a good week.